The moment you realize that someone else's disrespect is a reflection of their character, not your worth, is the moment you reclaim your power. Welcome to a journey that will transform how you navigate one of life's most challenging territories, dealing with people who don't respect you. Right now, somewhere in your life, there's someone who dismisses your ideas, undermines your efforts, or treats you as if you're invisible. You've felt that sting, that frustration, that burning question of, why don't they see my value? But here's what I want you to understand before we dive deeper. Their inability to respect you says absolutely nothing about who you are and everything about who they choose to be. Today, we're not just talking about surviving disrespect, we're talking about thriving despite it. We're going to explore 5 powerful strategies that will not only protect your dignity, but elevate your character to heights where disrespect becomes irrelevant. This isn't about revenge or getting even. This is about becoming so grounded in your own worth that external validation becomes optional. So settle in, because the next few minutes will change how you show up in the world forever. The foundation of handling disrespect lies not in changing others, but in developing an unshakable relationship with yourself. When you understand that your worth isn't determined by external recognition, you'll become immune to the poison of disrespect. Think about this. The mountain doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of the wind that howls against it. The mountain stands firm, rooted in its own foundation, unmoved by temporary storms. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, understood this principle deeply. He wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and this applies perfectly to how we process disrespect. When someone fails to acknowledge your worth, your first instinct might be to question yourself, to wonder what's wrong with you, to replay every interaction, searching for your mistake. But this is where you must pause and redirect your energy inward. Internal validation means developing such a clear understanding of your values, your capabilities, and your purpose that external opinions become mere background noise. It's about building a relationship with yourself that's so solid, so uncompromising, that no amount of disrespect can shake your foundation. This doesn't mean becoming arrogant or dismissive of feedback. It means distinguishing between constructive criticism from those who care about your growth and destructive behavior from those who are threatened by your potential. When you master internal validation, something magical happens. You stop seeking approval from people who have already decided not to give it. You stop wasting energy trying to convince people of your worth who are committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you channel that energy into becoming the person you're meant to be, regardless of who's watching or applauding. The ancient philosophers understood that happiness and peace come from within, not from external circumstances. Epictetus, who himself faced tremendous disrespect as a slave, taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Your response to disrespect should never be to diminish yourself or to desperately seek validation from the very people who withhold it. Your response should be to strengthen your inner foundation so that you become unshakable. Boundaries are not walls built to keep people out. They are standards that define how you allow others to treat you. When someone doesn't respect you, your natural tendency might be to try harder, to give more, to prove your worth through increased effort. This is exactly backwards. What you actually need to do is establish clear, non-negotiable boundaries that protect your energy and dignity. The Stoics believed in the concept of preferred indifference, things that we might prefer to have, like respect from others, but that don't determine our essential well-being. Respect from others is nice to have, but it cannot be your source of peace or self-worth. However, this doesn't mean you should tolerate disrespectful behavior. It means you should respond to it with wisdom rather than emotion. Setting boundaries with disrespectful people requires you to become comfortable with their discomfort. When you refuse to engage in their games, when you don't react to their provocations, when you simply withdraw your energy from interactions that don't serve you, they may escalate their behavior initially. This is their attempt to pull you back into the dynamic they're comfortable with. Your strength lies in your ability to remain unmoved. Boundaries also mean being selective about where you invest your time and energy. Not every battle is worth fighting, not every disrespectful comment deserves a response, and not every person deserves access to your thoughts and emotions. The philosopher Seneca taught that time is our most valuable resource, and we should guard it jealously. When you allow disrespectful people to consume your mental and emotional energy, you're essentially giving them control over your most precious asset. Vertical boundary setting looks like refusing to engage in conversations that consistently diminish you, walking away from situations where your dignity is not respected, and being willing to end relationships that consistently drain rather than energize you. It means saying no without elaborate explanations, maintaining your standards even when others call you difficult, and understanding that being respected is more important than being liked by everyone. Remember, boundaries are not about punishing others, they're about protecting yourself. They're about creating space for you to thrive while removing yourself from environments that stunt your growth. When you establish and maintain strong boundaries, you teach people how to treat you through your actions, not your words. The ancient Stoics practiced a powerful technique called the view from above, imagining themselves and their problems from a cosmic perspective, seeing how small and temporary their current challenges really are. When dealing with disrespect, this perspective shift can be revolutionary. The person who disrespects you is dealing with their own internal struggles, their own insecurities, their own limited perspective on life. Strategic detachment doesn't mean becoming cold or uncaring. It means observing disrespectful behavior without absorbing it. It's like watching a storm from inside a warm, safe house. You can see the chaos outside without being caught in it. When someone treats you disrespectfully, instead of taking it personally, you begin to see it as information about their character, their current state of mind, or their capacity for relationship. This shift in perspective is liberating because it removes you from the center of their dysfunction. Their disrespect is not about you, it's about them. It's about them, it's about their inability to recognize value, their insecurity that causes them to diminish others, or their own internal chaos that they project onto the world around them. When you understand this deeply, their behavior loses its power to disturb your peace. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that other people's actions are outside his control, and that his only responsibility is his own response. He would observe difficult people with curiosity rather than anger, seeing them as fellow human beings struggling with their own limitations. This perspective allowed him to lead with wisdom rather than react with emotion. Strategic detachment also means letting go of the need to be understood by everyone. Some people will never appreciate your worth, and that's perfectly fine. Their inability to see your value doesn't diminish it. Their failure to respect you doesn't make you less deserving of respect. Their limitations become irrelevant when you're no longer seeking their approval. This detachment creates space for clarity. When you're not emotionally entangled in their disrespect, you can make better decisions about how to respond, whether to engage, and how to protect your own well-being. You become strategic rather than reactive, wise rather than wounded. The most powerful response to disrespect is not argument or retaliation, it's excellence. When someone fails to recognize your worth, the ultimate answer is to become so undeniably valuable that their opinion becomes irrelevant. This doesn't mean performing for their approval. It means using their disrespect as fuel for your own growth and achievement. The Stoic concept of turning obstacles into opportunities applies perfectly here. Every moment someone treats you disrespectfully is an opportunity to practice patience, to strengthen your character, to develop resilience, and to clarify your own values. Instead of being diminished by their behavior, you can be refined by it. History is filled with individuals who transformed disrespect into greatness. They took the energy they could have spent on resentment and channeled it into mastery of their craft, development of their character, and pursuit of their purpose. They understood that the best revenge is not revenge at all, it's success, growth, and becoming the person they were meant to be, regardless of external recognition. This approach requires a fundamental shift in how you view challenges. Instead of seeing disrespect as something that happens to you, you begin to see it as something that happens for you. It becomes a teacher, showing you where you need to strengthen your boundaries, develop your skills, or clarify your values. It becomes motivation, pushing you to levels of excellence you might not have reached in a more comfortable environment. The philosophy of personal excellence means that you're not competing with the people who disrespect you. You're competing with your own potential. Their opinion of you becomes irrelevant when you're focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Their disrespect becomes background noise when you're tuned into your own growth and development. This doesn't mean you should be grateful for disrespect or seek it out. It means that when it appears in your life, you have the wisdom and strength to transform it into something useful rather than something destructive. You become an alchemist, turning the lead of their negativity into the gold of your own development. While you're learning to handle disrespect, you must simultaneously be building connections with people who recognize and honor your value. Energy flows where attention goes. And if you're constantly focused on those who don't respect you, you're starving the relationships that could nourish your soul and support your growth. The Stoics understood the importance of choosing your companions wisely. Seneca wrote extensively about the influence of those we surround ourselves with, noting that we become like the people we spend time with. If you're constantly trying to earn respect from people who are incapable of giving it, you're missing opportunities to deepen relationships with those who naturally appreciate who you are. Building relationships that honor your worth doesn't mean surrounding yourself with people who never challenge you or who agree with everything you say. It means connecting with individuals who see your potential, who support your growth, who treat you with basic human dignity even when they disagree with you. These are people who can give you honest feedback without diminishing your worth, who can challenge you to grow without making you feel small. These relationships become your foundation, your source of strength when dealing with those who don't respect you. When someone treats you poorly, you don't have to question your worth because you have evidence from other relationships that you are valued, appreciated, and respected. This network of positive relationships provides perspective and support that makes dealing with disrespect much more manageable. Investing in these relationships means being intentional about where you spend your time and energy. It means prioritizing people who reciprocate your investment, who celebrate your successes, who support you through challenges, and who contribute positively to your life. It means being willing to say no to toxic relationships so you have more capacity for healthy ones. The ancient philosophers often spoke about the importance of community and friendship in living a good life. Aristotle distinguished between different types of friendship, noting that the highest form is based on mutual respect and shared values. These are the relationships that sustain you through life's challenges and amplify your joy. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to understand something profound. You have never needed anyone's permission to be worthy of respect, and you never will. The 5 strategies we've explored today are not about earning respect from those who refuse to give it. They're about becoming so grounded in your own worth that external validation becomes optional rather than essential. When you master internal validation, you become unshakable. When you establish firm boundaries, you teach the world how to treat you. When you practice strategic detachment, you free yourself from the chaos of others' dysfunction. When you channel disrespect into excellence, you transform poison into medicine. And when you invest in relationships that honor your worth, you create a foundation of support that sustains you through any challenge. The truth is, some people will never respect you, and that's perfectly fine. Their inability to see your value doesn't diminish it. Their failure to appreciate your worth doesn't make you less deserving of appreciation. Their limitations have nothing to do with your potential. Your mission is not to convince everyone of your worth. It's to become so confident in your value that their opinions become irrelevant. It's to build a life so rich with purpose, so filled with meaningful relationships, so grounded in your own truth that disrespect bounces off you like rain off a mountain. Remember, respect is not something you can demand or force. It's something you command through your character, your boundaries, and your unwavering commitment to your own worth. The moment you stop seeking respect from those who are incapable of giving it and start honoring yourself unconditionally, you reclaim your power and step into the person you were always meant to be. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. Thank you for having the courage to examine these difficult relationships in your life and for being willing to change your approach rather than simply complaining about your circumstances. Thank you for understanding that your worth is not determined by external validation and for committing to the hard work of building unshakable self-respect. The world needs more people who understand their own value and who refuse to compromise their dignity for the approval of others. By implementing these 5 strategies, you're not just improving your own life, you're modeling strength and self-respect for everyone around you. You're showing others what it looks like to honor yourself while still treating others with compassion. Take these insights and make them your own. Practice them daily, refine them through experience, and watch as your life transforms from seeking respect to commanding it naturally. You have everything you need within you to handle any disrespect that comes your way. Now go out there and show the world what unshakable self-worth looks like.